They did have some fantastic game earlier against LGD. The complete shutout into the reverse 3-2. They were, what was it, 32-2 in kills, I believe. Absolutely insane. I would not have expected the EG to be that far ahead.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit nervous in that game number 2 because it definitely looked like, you know, they might be updating the website of when did EG last throw, but they were able to clinch it. They were able to make sure that they got the victory. So no Viper and no Broodmother coming out here in this draft. Viper, of course, being able to provide a break. It's just an annoying hero to have to deal with. And then, you know, the Broodmother, we've seen just how potent this hero can be.
She's very problematic for Clock and for Terrorblade, I would say. The Broodmother would just be too annoying for them to lane against, and they don't want to deal with any of that. So just get rid of it. I'm expecting to see EG do what most teams do, which is just hammer down different bans towards Amar, and somehow he still always performs, I feel. Watching OG is really interesting because he gets so much target hate and then he still delivers.
I think it's really interesting too. I watched, so OG made like a little series, I believe, along with BMW, but they went and they interviewed Taiga's family, they went and interviewed Amar's family, and Amar's got 2 of those brothers, and they were saying like, we just flame them all the time, you know, just like, oh, how come you didn't do this, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's a tough love family. But they said they did that to him to motivate him because it would light a fire underneath him. So it is kind of funny now. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Amar, you know, he's so BM, blah, 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 blah. But like that is the environment that he kind of thrived in from his family. And it brought him to where he is now because I think the other really, really cool thing is that, did you know that Amar had about 3K MMR just after TI9? And he just ground the heck out of it.
That is absolutely insane. That is crazy. That's such a fast progress. I didn't know that it was that reason that he was that low MMR. I knew that he had made like a really fantastic rise, but that's crazy fast. Talk about ascending to the top of Dota.
It's amazing. It is really amazing. That is a hard thing to do. But yeah. So we'll see the Phoenix banned out. That is something that EG really does love to put, especially over on Fly. We still have things like Chen. If they, what's going on over here? Are we on the floor?
I think he doesn't want the up the nostril camera angle shot, but he wants to be comfortable. So it's a struggle, you know. You gotta compensate here.
You know, gotta stay relaxed for this match. Not too relaxed that you fall asleep, though.
A camera angle shot, but he wants to be comfortable, so it's a struggle, you know. You gotta compensate here.
You know, gotta stay relaxed for this match. Not too relaxed that you fall asleep, though.
No, he looks comfy, he looks ready.
It's making me sleepy, oh no.
OG's turn to ban.
Okay, they took a lot of deliberation, but finally gonna be a Jakiro that they ban out, as Phoenix was banned out by OG. This is a lot of AoE damage dealers being brought out. Of course, the Phoenix would be a great way to have a ton of magic damage over to a Terrorblade, so it makes sense that OG are respecting that a bit with their early TB pickup. But I feel like Jakiro could even have been an option for themselves, but don't really want to play that into Clockwork, I suppose.
What about a Disruptor? That's a hero that's been making a pretty big splash recently that would provide them with, you know, the silence if they're able to grab the Terrorblade, can't get the Sunder off, a lot of magic damage as well.
I think he's definitely on the radar for both teams here, just because they're removing other alternatives as well for supports. But it would work well against both Racer to glimpse him back so he can't chase people or force out a BKB from him early. But also the lockdown against Terrorblade and stopping him from sundering would be useful if EG decide to go for it. They're gonna ban out BZM's Invoker here. Of course, we are spoiled with many good Invoker players in this. We saw both Toronto Tokyo and Stormstormer going at it in the previous series, with both of them playing Invoker. But BZM is also a superb Invoker player.
Okay, they're going to opt for the Snapfire pickup on the side of Evil Geniuses. do like that. They've got a couple ways to save in their draft, which I also enjoy. You've got the Snowball from Tusk, you've got the Cookie from Snapfire, and then it adds a little bit more team fight. And we talked about this earlier, how the fact that Snapfire just has incredible range. So she's able to sit pretty far back and get off those Mortimer kisses, and you do have to kind of be aware of that if you're OG, how you're going to be able to interrupt those. You do have a clockwork, but you don't always necessarily want him to be jumping on the back lines. You might want him to be, you know, your frontliner in some cases too. But nah, okay, all right. You get the Amar Timber. I feel like that is a very, very strong front lane.
Yeah, he's definitely this is one of his signature heroes. He has multiple, I suppose, but his Timbersaw, I've seen it in some games where it's like, this is a terrible Timbersaw game, this shouldn't work, and then he just dominates. So OG and their Timbersaw, they are a nice pairing, and I think EG, they have to be very cautious here because they already have 2 strength heroes in their supports. They're going to be really squishy against the Whirling Death here. But yeah, I agree with what you said, that the Snapfire is nice into the Terrorblade because EG needed to add more magic damage to deal with TB. And I still think they want even more beyond that. Magic damage is going to be higher value now that you see a Timbersaw as well.
I mean, the big thing whenever you see illusion heroes a lot of times is you see something like Leshrac, right?
Yeah, Lesh is certainly an option that they could go for as well. The more things they add here to set up for the Leshrac stun as well. They have Clockwork now, they have Dark Willow, which can set up a little bit. And Dark Willow, fantastic hero against Razor. I think the Terrorize against Razor is one of the most useful tools you can have to just force him to get back. It's sort of similar to Glimpse that we were mentioning. And here comes Arteezy's comfort hero. Gonna be the Ursa. Certainly a good matchup against the Timbersaw, continuous damage, but against Terrorblade can be a little bit rougher, but that means they have to pick a last hero that deals quite well with the Terrorblade, I think.
I was suggesting the Lesh for the side of Evil Geniuses, just because we were talking about that magic burst damage and dealing with some of the illusions. Might fit the draft just because of how high tempo it is currently, but...
Yeah, certainly. I think Leshrac can certainly fit for EG here. It might be something that OG respect when they get to their final ban, because they do have the Terrorblade, and like you said, can be rough running into Leshrac. Also more disables and damage that can go through even when Willow hits her Shadow Realm can be very useful. Lesh doesn't care at all about Shadow Realm.
To see the Batrider getting banned out. That is a very powerful hero, being able to jump in and just have that lockdown, which is very, very important for both the Timber and the Terrorblade. Do have one final ban available.
Yeah, I could also see them playing something like Void Spirit for themselves. They could play Lina or Leshrac over on EG. All those are very possible threats. And see if OG has some other hero that they're even more worried about, or if it's going to be one of those that they get Void Spirit for themselves. They could play Lina or Leshrac over on EG. All those are very possible threats. And see if OG has some other hero that they're even more worried about, or if it's going to be one of those that they get rid of here. Because they have to shield their Terrorblade a little bit with this ban. Queen of Pain, yeah, certainly same thing there. Ton of burst damage, and a hero that doesn't care about Clockwork. So problem with if they've got Queen of Pain would be that the clock can't land any easy ganks, as you can just blink away from the ganks.
Alright, Void Spirit gets picked up for the side of OG. It is a BZM classic, so just need to figure out what is the solution, what is the final piece of the puzzle for the side of Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, to me it feels like a Lina game, but that's just because I don't really see something that fits nicer here. But overall, it does look really clean because they get a nice mix between physical and magical damage as well. You could even go full spellcaster Lina with the Aghanims build that we saw GPK do in the Last Chance qualifier. It's gonna be Lesh. Yeah.
There we go. A little bit more tower push, which puts this draft as a very high octane setup. Has a lot of magic burst damage. Very good against things like the Timbersaw or the Terrorblade. I guess the only thing that's a little worrisome to me is that they're a bit more mobile over on the side of OG, and they also have a bit more superior vision, having the clockwork rockets to do some scouting.
Yeah, they have a lot of vision, and they're, like you said, quite mobile. But on the other hand, there are some good lockdowns, and they're also pretty fast on the side of EG. While they don't have the same level of mobility, Razor is a very speedy hero, so is Leshrac, especially when you get to travels. So even if you have ways to disengage, you can also get run down if you're not careful here. But seeing how both drafts finish up, I would say that EG are in a good spot to take this one, but OG, I'm never really counting out Amar on his Timbersaw. I've seen him take over games, even against an Ursa. I just respect that man on this hero.
Yeah, he is very, very talented. It's like that and his Mars as the two heroes, I think, let shine out a lot for a lot of viewers. But I'm curious now. We said that Evil Geniuses has a very fast-moving draft. What is going to be that peak timing for them in this game, do you think?
I think the time that they want to start coming online is probably the moment that Leshrac finishes his first item. We've seen Leshracs go for quite a few different items. Some people go for the Bloodstone first, sometimes BKB first. We've even seen some Yule Scepters in the past. But I think Lesh is going to be the tempo hero they want to play around. He's going to be central for them actually doing building damage, since Ursa and Razor don't have fantastic building damage between them.
Hiragi and Crit will just walk into each other pretty quickly. You see some nice sportsmanship talk so far, but they have funds being dropped.
Yeah, good luck, have fun. Both teams are ready and staring at the mid lane, which we sort of see all the teams do. This is what you need to do, just get in position early to try and protect your tier 1 tower from the enemy walking up and scouting if you have a ward is something that's quite important. You can, of course, always try and see if you get shot by a tower and find out where the ward is.
Are there any ways that you think, so we talked about how this Leshrac is going to really need to pop off, it depends on the item builds too. Are we going to see these rotations come out from EG to try to help secure that lane earlier on?
I think the 6-minute rune is almost every single game. We see both the supports, both teams move towards the 6 and possibly the 8-minute runes as well. It is very, very likely going to happen in this game as well. Until then, they'll be playing out the lanes. We have a bit of a reconnect here by our TC.
Looks like... Unfortunately, yeah, it looks like his PC crashed. I want to know what all these Chinese voice lines are. We haven't had any sort of like post that explains them as far as I know.
True. Yeah, and for the other languages as well, it would be nice to find out. There's so many good voice lines, honestly, and hard to pick.
BZM's sponsor, just Seb's grandson.
Seb's grandson, very nice.
He is a bit baby because he is so young. Nice little D ward, and yeah, runes getting split pretty evenly.
Yeah, 2 for 2 on the runes, and they're heading down the lanes. Looks like mid lane is going to be a little bit of a 1 block by BZM here, getting slightly favorable position. That tiny bit can make a lane much easier to play out, honestly. It seems like such a minor thing, but being able to CS on your high ground as opposed to going low ground feels much nicer.
You might never recover.
Top lane, you can see Nightfall's just trying to get a little bit of that drain right off the bat. They'll throw out some shards and put that harass down. Everybody's getting challenged here.
The gauntlets. We haven't seen that in the other games, but of course.
Didn't they already like challenge each other in the mid lane?
Yeah, you can send more.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was apparently a bug at first where you could just send like 100 challenges per second to someone, and you just crash the game by sending them. I believe that's fixed by now, though. Hopefully we're not going to see such foul play at TI here.
No, I don't. I think these guys, they all really want to play this game. They're not looking to crash, if possible. This is, you know, This is for Pride right here. Pride and, TI, which is the biggest tournament that we have.
Yeah, it is, and it's also EG versus OG. It's, who's the best G? Oh, bottom. Taiga getting caught out.
Still got the Shadow Realm up. This is a pretty difficult hero to kill when you have the Shadow Realm and not a lot of ground targeted stuff.
Yeah, they do have a lot of ground target, but they already used it, so he just walks away in the end. But he's gonna walk on and try to control bottom. A little bit too late to do so though, as Abed already claims it. Tries to deny it with the Shadow Realm, but instead harasses.
Yeah, that extra little bit of attack range is super nice on the Shadow Realm. And there's another thing too about drafting Amar, his Timber Saw, is like this particular hero, pretty survivable, so you do have the freedom to make these little bit of rotations, try to do some pokes, maybe, grab up some runes.
Yeah, certainly frees up a bit of movement. Trades on both lanes happening, top lane reflection, but not really too much gonna happen. They just have a superior amount of creeps here on the side of OG.
Quiet game so far. Everybody just pretty content to go hit creeps. Looking at the CS over in the mid lane, currently Abed sitting on top with 16 and 5. BZM not too far behind though, 15 and 2 currently. So
yeah,
these mids
very
really
even. But yeah, they're you're not gonna be able to stop Void Spear. I feel like that hero is so hard to fully deny. His last hit is really good, and he did get a favorable block as well. We saw a courier go down. Taiga got one courier snipe there over on Fly's courier. A bit of gold for his team. Top, attempting to get the disengage on the pull.
Yep. Just having those cogs into play. Are they going to be able to keep Misha alive? That Nightfall will get the first blood. Crit is going to have to back off a little bit. That will use that plasma field. Just put a little bit more pressure over onto Yuragi. He is out of regen other than some stick charges. Has to be a bit careful. Although it looks like, oh no, we've just got the Band of Elven Skin. But in comes the Clockwork.
Yeah, he's gonna get fed some tangles. He'll be fine. Bottom lane was RTC taking some damage, but he's also getting fed. The babysitting is full active here for the supports. Their carries are crying.
Nice scatter blast over onto Amar. Taiga needs to be a bit careful. Does have the Shadow Realm available though. Fly, giving off a couple clicks, perhaps baiting a bit. Does have a salve, so it's going to be able to heal back up as RTC starts giving some chase over here to Taiga. Have to be careful. Amar will hit back.
Yeah, just chasing after and getting that Fury Swipes applied again. And they're actually chasing forward.
Again, they do have the Shadow Realm, and Fly not enough mana to get the Scatter Blast off. So,
yeah, he wants a Magic Stick badly. Get a Magic Stick over on the Snapfire, and this Timbersaw will generate the mana for you. And then perhaps they can find these kills.
Nice brambles holding Arteezy in place. Taking the mid lane again, both of them very comfortable. We've got the level 5 on both heroes.
Oh, top, they're trading.
Top
Clockwork
lane.
is kind of stuck.
Yeah, they are. Putting the pressure over onto Nightfall and Misha. Crit chasing after Misha. He wants his kills, has the shard, should be able to collect the kill.
These fights, when you don't have meta, are very difficult because they don't really have that much damage coming out from the Terrorblade.
Some pressure being placed on Amar. They know that they don't have that Dark Willow currently, although in comes Taiga again. It's just gonna push a little bit of damage over onto Fly.
Yeah, RTZ almost had his level 4 there. He gets it now. Keeps the Fury Swipes applied, jumping in just for that one touch so it doesn't reset.
No, they're going for the rune. It is gonna be BZM who picks up the haste.
And he is level 6. He's coming towards bottom.
Arteezy? Oh, he's gonna get Timber chained down.
They want more. They want Fly too.
Oh, they want Fly. Look at BZM. Look at the way he's cutting around the trees.
Yeah,
Surprise!
top. We also see a kill.
Forward. Have the Curse Crown over onto Fly. The Cookie Hop forward. BZM taking a decent amount of damage. It's still going to be a kill on Fly, but in the top lane, Nightfall finding the kill on Yuragi.
Yuragi overcommitting there. I mean, they first get the kill on the Clockwork, but then Terrorblade gets baited, thinks that he can get a kill, but he gets too close to a tower and just goes down. In the end, EG with a 2-for-0 trade up there.
Radiant's top tower is under
This top lane is not working out. Clockwork has now died 3 times, and the Terrorblade dying as well. I mean, he can TP back to the lane immediately, so it's not terrible for him yet. But Misha is having a very hard laning stage.
So what's the recovery plan here? Because, you know, they did manage to get the kill on Yuragi. Misha's having a bit difficulty. Do you want to see him kind of rotate out? Is it safe for him to be able to rotate it? Because we only have the level 5 on Terrorblade. Or does Terrorblade just wander off into the jungle at this point?
TP probably wants to stay in the lane a little bit longer. You can pop into a jungle already. It depends on the Leshrak's movement. And right now, looks like Abed wants to come towards top lane, perhaps. If he comes top, then Terrorblade is like, I'm out. But for now, he's trying to stick around and be ready to pick up the farm when it comes to the tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A little bit of skirmishing over here in the mid lane. But again, this Void Spirit, very survivable. Top lane again, Misha getting caught. Has the cogs, but Crit doesn't seem to care. Crit would like to get a little bit closer to you, in fact, Misha. Clicks plus the Plasma. Nightfall is just having a great game up here. 3 kills, 2 assists. That is very scary, I think, for the side of OG.
We saw top rune being controlled by the Aether Remnant, but Leshrak denies it by right-clicking as well, so no rune for either of the mid laners here. No extra tempo. Terrorblade is going to be completely fine. Yeah, they're invading and trying to keep him from farming too fast, but that's also time that they could take to deal some damage to the top tower. So TB, if he doesn't die there, he's completely happy with them doing this. This is a waste of time to them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
BZM noticing that Crit's over here. Not gonna be able to quite land that remnant, but does get the courier, so it won't have that TP available. Top lane. Nightfall just feeling very confident that he can just take these creeps right in front of the side of OG.
I will never get used to neutral creeps randomly just pulling you in one direction, but it can sometimes give you info that there is an enemy here nearby without you having seen them yet. If you get pulled by neutral creeps, that's a bad sign. Get out of there.
That's true. Still not seeing any towers taken just yet. They've done a great job of protecting their tower over here in the mid lane. Usually when you have something like a Leshrak, you're pretty concerned that you're going to end up losing a lot of these towers pretty quickly. But right now, Lesh Abed just wants to farm up. It is working on that Yules, like we talked about, giving him some nice ways to set up, and also a little bit of an insurance policy.
Yeah, there are so many different builds that you can go for, but I think the Yule Scepter makes a lot of sense in this game. Also as a setup against the Timbersaw, possibly just Yules him into a stun and keep him still long enough that you can kill him with Ursa.
I think having that interrupt is very, very nice, but BZM will be able to grab himself the double damage after a nice setup with the Remnant into the Brambles.
Yeah, both teams are pretty content with just farming right now. One difference is that RTC is still trying to farm the lane bottom, whereas Terrorblade has completely started jungling. This allows Misha to recover his levels. Not super comfortable against the Timbersaw though. The Ursa probably doesn't want to stay here forever. And it's gonna be the Battle Fury build on the Ursa, so RTC going for the greedier path, not first item defusal. The reason for this is that the Diffusal is quite bad against Reflection as well. Feels bad to burn your own mana.
Going for a bit of an invasion. CMR is just kind of cutting the wave off to the side. And the pressure is being placed over on the mid lane. See a couple of the sports did rotate over. A little bit of a smoke play coming out from EG. It's like they're looking to invade the jungle, perhaps find themselves a Terrorblade, Yuragi. wandering on in, and they do go for a scan. Smoke play coming out from the side of OG, though. They're responding. They're looking to see if they can take a skirmish and potentially get the jump on the side of Evil Geniuses.
The
Top
diving
lane,
Misha.
a bit of a dive again over onto Misha. Abed is here, though. Cooking up forward. The double damage gets popped from BZM. Nightfall says, like, yeah, I'd love to go for a fight. They're looking for the Terrorize. Won't manage to land it, but the Snapfire kisses. Taiga trying to just break some ankles, do these dances, duke around, but he is going to get burned down by Abed.
Yeah, credit to Taiga. Nice moves though until the end there, but of course he can't really juke when Leshrac just runs up next to him. That's gonna be his demise in the end. But they forced out both the jumps there from the Void Spirit early, and then he can't really fight anymore. It doesn't matter if he has DD. Now it does though.
Does find a... They do end up finding Abed. Snowball going forward, just gonna be able to dissimulate away. No problem.
Yeah, and they want the rune. The shards.
Block here, can they get... Oh, no. It's still gonna be a BZM who grabs the invis thanks to that remnant.
Yeah, the ice shards were a little bit off the mark there, not blocking the ramp fully. So he gets to heal up on his Void Spirit as well. Oh, is he going E-Blade first item on BCM? He has it queued up now. I think the Kaya is very strong. I like the idea of going for E-Blade in this game as well. It would enable so much of the magic damage from Willow and the Clockwork as well as his own damage.
Lush does teleport bottom, but they find Fly. Gonna be able to just burst down immediately. It's like, oh, bet he wants to get over here. Does manage to find themselves Taiga. Doesn't look like he's going to be the one who survives, but I'm sure they're happy that BZM did make it out.
Yeah, Crit redeeming his previous failed shard block to now get 2 heroes caught. Of course, Void Spirit jumps away, but that was a nice shard, right place, right time. Looks like OG are eyeing up the bottom lane a little bit more though. Arteezy is staying here for now, but this area is about to get dangerous.
Yeah, it seems that Arteezy recognizes it because he is starting to retreat. He's gonna meet up with his courier, getting closer and closer to that Battle Fury. But realizing there's a lot of heroes that are not on the map, and this tower is sitting very low, so it's probably time to make a rotation.
It's a very rich game, very abundant farm for all the cores. Every single one is getting quite a bit of farm. I guess the least farm being Void Spirit, but still sitting at 5.2k is not too unhappy about things.
Bed. Dodge away from the brambles. So Illusionary in top, Misha's just gonna snap it up.
Yeah, looks like after taking bottom tower, they're not intending on staying in the area. They're just leaving it for Terrorblade. He's farming, and then he's gonna go back to the Ancients again.
This feels like some of the really older NA games where it's just a non-stop farm fest.
Yeah, EG like to try and get a lot of item progression overall on Nightfall, and in this game, he's actually the most farmed hero as the offlaner here. Chasing on the Ursa, but with that level 4 Timber chain, it's pretty hard for Ursa to ever catch up to Timber. He gets so far away.
I mean, they have completed the Yules on Abed, so that does give them the option to try to make the moves, but it is a Timber Saw. It's just very difficult unless you bring the numbers to really deal with Amar at this time.
Yeah, they have wards in the area. OG.
Hook shot in. Can go for the split. Honing into the brambles. There's the Yules coming to play here for the Leshrac. He's gonna get terrorized out, and those Mortimer kisses, oh, but they just cut right through Abed with Amar being in this vicinity. Curse Crown will end up going off. Another Yule's coming into play. Oh, Arteezy, he has no hope of escape. Not with all the heroes of OG jumping on him like that.
I love the decision by Amar to go for a first item Yule Scepter in this game as well. When you're playing against Ursa, it is such a fantastic item to have because it has full duration even if you enrage, so it's a great way to lock him down. And I think Arteezy, he doesn't want to find himself near these fights at all right now.
Oh, alright, just a casual pickoff here by Kurt, finding Taiga. The TPs are coming out. Abed trying to protect this tower. They're sending over the oh gosh, okay. Amar just kills Fly.
Yeah, I'm surprised he was trying to stay down there. Such a dangerous area for him to play, but stays on the lane, and Amar is going to happily take that kill now on a dominating streak. Quite a few kills bleeding over here. I was saying how Razor was the most farmed hero on the map, but not after Timbersaw getting some of these kills.
Do have a fresh BKB on Nightfall though, so definitely a power spike over to the side of Evil Geniuses.
He can sort of act as a shield for Leshrac right now, since Leshrac went for the Eul Scepter first item. He's not really that tanky, but if Razor sits in front of him, then Lesh can happily push towers. Again, moving down towards bottom, Arteezy, he just wants to farm, but he has this Battle Fury, and he finds himself in bottom area. It's a dangerous place.
Yes, it is, because there's no one nearby to be able to teleport and help him out. He's going to try to take down Misha before he dies. We'll be able to get that kill, but not really the trade that you want to see if you're an Evil Geniuses fan. And
affirmative, my bad, is Amar saying, yeah, I probably should have Eul Sceptered and saved your life there. Probably getting a little bit of flack there from his Clockwork, who's like, save me! But Arteezy gets a kill before dying. He's perfectly happy then. I mean, dying is not the best, but at least you got a consolation, and 3 heroes rotated to bring you down, so the best case scenario, I suppose, for him there.
That is true.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Interesting to note that they do have a Leshrac, but this mid tower is still standing for the side of OG. They've been very protective of this tower.
Yeah, I think they want to try and fix that right now, but it's not that easy to commit past the river against OG. They have very good chase between the Clock and the Void Spirit, but right now, after the gank bottom, they're a bit low on resources. Void is not here yet. Tower could go down. Abed is so scared though, he doesn't want to go for it.
And there's the E-Blade, and they immediately pop BKB on Nightfall. Not sure they really want a hard commit. Oh, nice sidestep there with the cookie from Fly. Not going to be able to land the hook shot, but now with
They're
this
shielding
BKB...
for Roche. Just creating a diversion, and then they go for Roche.
And they're successful. A very nice play coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses. The old bait and switch.
Yeah, it's one of the advantages of having Ursa, and you want to try and get that first Roshan down as fast as possible, so you keep killing Roche over and over throughout the duration of the game. That first Roche kill is honestly the most important in a way to get it as soon as possible for Ursa.
So now that we have the Aegis online for Arteezy, is this going to be one of those just more farming Aegis, or I'd like to see them maybe be aggressive, but again, they do have the Battle Fury.
I think Arteezy gonna farm. That's what I think. I think you keep hitting creeps here, get your BKB, because right now he's still a puzzle that can be solved for OG. They have the Eul Scepter already. They also have E-Blade on the Void Spirit, so he can protect people. Granted, you can't really E-Blade the Ursa that easily due to Enrage, but he can just E-Blade the targets. So for now, I think you need more items.
Misha getting a little bit of a deward over here on the side, trying to keep their jungle nice and tidy and private, so that Evil Geniuses doesn't know exactly what's going on. But they are playing very forward on the side of EG, trying to finish off this tower for sure. A couple clicks here. Nightfall will finish it off. Finally opening this up. E-Blade getting placed over onto Arteezy.
Such an annoying thing for him. Just the E-Blade already forces that he has to commit his Enrage. If he doesn't do it, they are going to land a Disable on him, and he will lose his Aegis there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Top haste rune. Crit wants it. Stuns up BZM.
Gives him the old punch on top of it. Again, that E-Blade coming in handy, though. Crit kind of trying to bait, trying to bring him over towards Arteezy.
Yeah, now is a good time for OG to fight. They forced out the BKB on the Razor there and forced him back. They have the meta going as well, so they can look for invading a little bit or just taking this mid creep wave safely and then back up to farm even more. Terrorblade looking like he wants to go for IF Skadi rushed in this game, not even finishing Manta style first. That is probably just respecting that every single hero on EG suffers if they get IF Skadi'd. Razor, he can't keep running people down. It's very easy to just hit him for TB and slow him down. The Ursa, same thing there. He struggles against the same issue. And same can sort of be said against Leshrac as well, so it's a great item here.
Taiga with a nice terrorize over on Stupid Snowball, of course, from Crit. Buys a bit more time. Throws out the shards, drops the Wraith back. This is looking like they're going to end up losing Taiga.
Yeah, I thought for a second the BCM might jump in on that since the terrorize pushed 2 heroes back, but didn't really want to get in and involved in that, so they'll just take a support loss. I mean, 1 support dying is usually completely non-impactful, so not risking it.
Looks like the next item for Nightfall is going to be the Heaven's Halberd. Just waiting on that Talisman of Evasion. Should be very nice against the opponents of OG.
Yeah, both teams staying pretty close to each other here in net worth, by the way. They're only 1,000 gold ahead on the side of OG, so EG are keeping pace pretty well. Of course, they have the Aegis, so they can farm a little bit safer as well. RTC is definitely playing in areas they probably wouldn't if he had the Aegis right now, or didn't have the Aegis.
Yeah, they don't really have one of those here. Like, you know, in a lot of the games, you'll have one particular hero that can take the unsafe farm. Zamar just jumps immediately on top of Arteezy. They'll fly nearby.
He does have Aegis and BKB. They could go on him, but it's not the best target to initiate on.
Pop, not going to be able to quite get over there, but they do hold him into place. Oh my word, the damage coming out from Amar. They pop the Aegis. Wait patiently here, trying to get Arteezy out, but they'll just chase after Amar, but he's got the Timber Chain. BKB coming into play here from Arteezy. Needs to be careful though, and that's Scotty doing work. As over on the side, gearing up with the Terrorize. A nice play, pushing back some of VG, but there's those Mortimer Kisses like we talked about. Trying to just get all the damage as possible as they're chasing after Misha. Yuragi's sitting very low right now. Does have the Sunder, but not going to be able to get it off. As now they'll toss Nightfall over, chasing after Taiga. Up the shards. Nice force away, though. We'll be able to keep him alive a little bit longer. BZM and Amar trying to get out the snowball, rolling right towards him like an Indiana Jones film. But they still have not managed to catch him.
Yeah, Nightfall trying to get the wraparound, but doesn't really have a way to catch for his team. So he's just going to start farming over on the high ground anyway. And beautiful fight by EG there. That is on the back of the Aegis. Bit brave by OG to try and fight into EG right when Aegis was closing in on timing out. They brought it down quickly, but the fight that followed was difficult to say the least against this BKB timing over on Razor, BKB on the Ursa as well. So much was used to just burst the 2 of them initially there.
Yeah, Amar just timber chaining on through and just cutting them both down immediately. Oof.
Yeah. Also, they did a good job initially at kiting out the Ursa. They have double Force Staff on the side of OG. Both the Dark Willow and the Clockwork have a Force Staff. This is something we see more and more against heroes like Ursa. It just solves them to a great degree. But Razor and Leshrac were allowed to do so much damage in that fight.
Kane Rune, the Abed getting ready to set up with the Split Earth, followed up with the Snowball. Misha jumping in, but not going to be able to save BZM. Despite his best efforts. They try to launch Abed up to the high ground. Don't quite manage to make it. Now Crit is in for some trouble here as Amar throwing out the shock. They still have the vision. The fall for the Bedlam from Taiga. It's going to be a kill on Crit, but the follow-up is here. As now Taiga will fall to Nightfall. And the cookie hop again. Abed, man, Abed's just super aggressive. He's got Arteezy coming in too. Was looking to go try to land the Split Earth, but they do have the Force Staffs like we talked about. The Yule's play over onto Arteezy. They're kiting him quite well.
Yeah, this Snapfire Shard, by the way, it feels like it counteracts the Force Staffs to a degree, because you have longer range on the cookie now. You fly so far. So he's using it to help people catch. Oh, gee, they want to fight this.
Yeah, Amar sees Fly. That little bit of the cookie hop away. Does probably need some assistance though, as again the Force and Amar cleaning up everybody, just cutting through them. Follow up though, he's gone perhaps a bit too far because he will end up falling to Abed. Misha though with a nice touch. Oh, they'll take down Arteezy as now Yuragi joining the fight. The slow over onto Nightfall plus that battery assault. Nightfall says, oh my god, yeah, I can't stay here and fight toe to toe. I'm gonna have to BKB teleport out.
Always with a high five during the TP out as well. Nightfall just taunting them a little bit as they do not have a way to solve him BKB TPing yet. But he TP'd out, that means bottom can now be pushed. The meta is still up for a good duration here on Yuragi.
And that was a BKB charge. Oh, wow, even Yuragi is getting the... He picks up the Force Staff eventually towards that full Hurricane Pie. Crit though does get spotted by the supports over here on the side and VCM, so...
That is actually
End up
crazy.
falling.
They have four staffs at 26 minutes. Oh no. RTC is gonna have so many times that he's gonna try and catch someone and they will just get pushed away from him. This is looking to be a frustrating game. His basher cannot come soon enough. The issue is though, even if you bash on your connection, someone else is probably gonna force the target away.
Yeah, the saddest of bears over here. Does have a blink to try to close the gap, but like you said, you know, you've got all these force devs, and if one person isn't able to do it, there's going to be another person on the team who'll be able to supply it.
Yeah, but fortunately for him, his teammates are also doing quite well in terms of farm departments. The Racer is scaling up quite a bit. Nightfall has the BKB, Halberd, Plate Mail, going for a Shiva's next, and then he wants to go back for the Refresher. God, I remember the every single game Refresher, BKB Racer. But yeah, we're gonna have it in this game as well, it seems. He gets his way.
EG is smoked up, and they're looking to make an invasion into the jungle. A little bit of a rocket flare tossed out, trying to get any information. It is Taiga who's standing over by the ramp, so they go up. It's most likely him who they're gonna be finding first.
Yeah, they saw him, they just couldn't really catch him from all the way over there. He is backing out in good time, and they are drawing, they're scanning. OG are on point with where EG are playing right now because of bottom. They even highlighted bottom, like Taiga was drawing on the map there, indicating that if this is not farmed, something is afoot. Like if the creeps are hitting all the way to a tier 3 tower, that means EG are making a move.
Well, there's about 15 seconds left before this Roche respawns, and that's definitely the next objective on the side of Evil Geniuses with the way that they position themselves. But it also seems like OG, they're very aware of this, considering that they are staying tight on the side of the river, not venturing off too far from the Roshan.
Yeah, seems like they are they're certainly going to stick around there. Just waiting, and we'll see when RTC decides to make the move over.
They smoke up on the side of OG. They immediately want to punish them. As Fly just gets... Okay, there was a Fly there. He's not going to be available for this fight now as Evil Genius is forced to try to run away. Nightfall trying to slow them down a little bit. Crit getting drawn back over to the side. Too much damage coming out from Amar. The Chakram cleans them up, followed up now. Abed, he's going to be forced to run, but they have the Yules. This is not an easy way to get out, as they'll just... Yeah, they burst him out.
Yeah, this is some very good initiation. They just fly in immediately with a clockwork, get the first burst, and from there on the fight is quite easy for them. If there's not going to be any Snapfire, she can't be around to save people with a Fire Snap shard. So yeah, they put themselves in a good spot. RCC tried to join the fight, but it was too late. They already were in a bad spot.
Nice hook shot over onto Nightfall. We'll throw the power cogs out. Chakram getting tossed too. RTZ though trying to get in position, but it's so hard to pin down Amar at this point. We'll drain a little bit of the damage. Nightfall chasing after Amar. They have to land these Mortimer kisses. He'll turn back around, has the Yules pushing the limits on this particular hero. He's still alive as now RTZ coming around the side, pops the BKB, looking to see if he can get his hands on Amar. Amar trying to juke, trying to break the end skills, but they'll finally be able to take him down. As now Fly on the back, and Taiga's here, so is Misha. They'll end up taking down Taiga. BZM, though, will be able to get the cleanup kill.
That was really nice by RTC to just ignore the, you know, what's right in front of you and instead go for the deeper, better target there. Finding Timbersaw, getting that solo kill, absolutely huge for him. So he gets quite a bit of gold for that too, over for himself and his team, 490 and 446. So plenty of gold going over. But yeah, you can see already this game is turning out to be very difficult. Yules?
Yules and... Oh, okay, alright, we got another Yules waiting patiently, but their patience is rewarded.
Beautiful. He knew there was going to be the counter Yules immediately after his first Yules, so Abed fakes out the stun, lands the stun on the enemy Yules instead. Good mind games there by Abed. Good presence of mind.
30 minutes into the game. We've got a 3k lead over to the side of OG. They still have the Aegis over on Yuragi.
Yeah, they have the Aegis, but it doesn't feel like he is the one they want to play around that heavily yet. They need to try and get everyone involved. They need the Void Spirits. They can't make a move without him right now. So just gonna wait for the respawn probably before we see OG make a move.
structures are fortified.
I love the decision we're seeing by Abed, by the way. He's finishing up Aghanim Scepter over on his Leshrac. So, oh, he's actually now changed his mind. This is also a very strong item here. So the Hex is going to help with the Void Spirit and the Timber Saw quite a lot. And possibly deny some Sunders to go out as well, which could be massive.
Yeah, I feel like control is a very important part of playing against OG's lineup with what they have. They're very, very mobile. You've got, you know, the hook shot on the clock. You've got this Timber who can just easily Timber chain away. The Void Spirit with the step. Honestly, any of these heroes, right? Like, the more lockdown you have, the easier these fights go. So definitely like to see that pickup. We've got the Basher online for Arteezy.
Yeah, Basher, and he's going for a Nullifier as well. When you're against 2 Eul Scepters and 4 Force Staffs, it's a pretty damn good Nullifier game.
Crit's gonna present himself. Scatterblast toss back though, and it looks like we'll end up losing Tusk. Fly using that cookie to vacate the area as fast as possible. We saw how fast that he could get shredded. In fact, Amar posturing pretty aggressively.
Yeah, he's certainly getting in their head a little bit, just playing aggressively and showing that he can go top. They're trying to catch Nightfall. He does have the BKB TP out though, so very tricky kill for them. I think he's just gonna click his spells here, get out. He's safe.
Yeah, they didn't have the hook shot for another 10 seconds, and Misha a little bit low on that mana too, but
yeah, he recognized that he could play as aggressively as he wanted after the catch on mid lane. But even though EG are behind for now, it feels like they're still building up to be really, really hitting a strong timing soon when the refresher comes up. Oh, Fly.
There's the hook shot from downtown, and that's a dead Fly.
Yeah, Timber looking for more. Amar not gonna find anyone just yet. Now with the Halberd, double E-Blade, double Euls, ton of Force Staffs. It's like they have 10 items, I think, to counter out Arteezy in this game. It feels like they're really hard countering. Then again, should be said that the Force Staffs are amazing against Razor as well, to just break the static link and get out of the damage of the Eye of the Storm, of course. But EG, I wanted to say, they're building up towards a really strong timing. Once this refresher comes online here for Razor, he's going to be massive.
Feels like they want to try to fight this, as they'll find an opening over onto BZM. Gonna see if they can burst him down, but they do, of course, have that Euls coming into play. BKB popped over onto Arteezy. He'll take down BZM, but Yuragi, again, kiting just so nicely. They do jump onto the back line. Look at Misha. Nightfall with the BKB is just running at them, trying to close the gap. We'll be able to try to drain a little bit here from Amar. Yuragi, heavens halberded. He's gonna go back into the fight. They clean up Taiga on the other side. And Crit, they want to finish off Yuragi. They have the BKB over on Nightfall. He's chasing after him again. These Heaven's Halberds coming in clutch because they just need a little bit more damage. Yuragi is just ticking down and time's out. They'll end up getting the kill. And now Amar running for his life. The snowball coming after him. Not able to quite manage to finish up. He decides he wants to stand and fight, but he is going to get bashed up. So Abed collecting the kill. Very excellent timing coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses to recognize that now is the time to strike, now's the time to put the pressure on Yuragi.
Yeah, they knew the Aegis was gonna time out soon, so it's a good time to initiate the engagement, but that engagement worked out so well for them due to some mishaps on the side of OG as well. Misha just tried to go in as his clockwork and try and help. He just melted next to Leshrac and the Racer, died without anything, and after 2 heroes getting bursted that quickly, I'm surprised they decided to take the fight. Here you see, of course, when they go and initiate. It's a good double Euls here, and Leshrac calmly lands the stun. But look at Clock. He disappears immediately. And after this, they could have tried to disengage. In the game, though, we see Leshrac being gone on a little bit, but I think it's going to be fine. Looks like they were setting up to make an attempted burst on him there.
Yeah, they didn't feel super confident, I think, because they weren't quite sure where the rest of the team was. They don't have the vision, so...
Yeah, they were nearby. A big thing for OG right now, though, is that they are playing without BKB on Terrorblade.
Oh my god! Well, bye, Taiga.
Yeah, plants a ward, jumps in. Fast bursts. don't think they're going to threaten high ground, but they're drawing on the map. They want to take over this entire bottom area right now. There are tier 1 and tier 2 towers to be collected here. And like I was saying, right now I think OG, they need to finish up this BKB. You played until now without BKB, going for the Daedalus even on Terrorblade, but in the last fight, he really could have used one. He could have BKB TP'd out, or he could commit it and perhaps taken a favorable fight for them.
Full nullifier completed for Arteezy. This bear is definitely headed towards some very powerful spikes.
Yeah, he's going for the Abyssal next as well. He wants to have even more lockdown. Lockdown is the name of the game here against Void Spirit, against Timbersaw, and even against the Terrorblade as well, again to deny that Sunder going off.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
I think EG are starting to get a little bit more confident now, as they were pretty much on the back foot the entirety of this game. Apart from like early laning stage, they had good farm, but OG have been controlling the game until now, and it feels like EG now open up the map a bit more.
We talked about how, you know, some of the players over on Entity are former creep waivers, and are still having that that little bit of what do you want to call it, respect for the fact he came from creep wave.
Yeah, he has it in his sponsor tag. Yeah, never forget your roots, I guess. Important for these players.
I remember I didn't know much about him when he first came onto the scene, and I was just told, watch out for his Mars. He's so aggressive, but it gets to the point that he's so aggressive that every time it's off cooldown, the second that enemies see him running into their lane, they all just leave. They're like, yep, we know what's coming. Just run away from Amar right now.
He certainly, I think he also single-handedly, look at this, defining
Misha has
English.
a jetpack. Misha has himself an Abed, but again, those BKBs, Abed's just going to teleport out, doesn't want to stand here and fight, as the rest of Evil Geniuses will attempt to just flee. Oh, but they do find the pick off over here on Fly, the drag back the E-Blade, and he just pops.
He has some insane range for catching on BCM. He has that Octarine on his Void Spirit as well, so added cast range, as well as the cooldown from the Quickening Charm, so he can cast his spells on a really low CD here. And he went for Astral Step's CDR talent, so he has some high mobility.
This Roche respawning right at the opportune moment here for the side of OG. Throwing out some shards, trying to get some vision, trying to see if they maybe can get a snipe, but not going to be able to quite do it.
They haven't taken Aegis. They can't
are they
reach
going to figure out what's happening?
He was held out by the shards there. He couldn't actually get close enough. But of course, EG, they weren't getting there. It's always an awkward moment when the Aegis is right in front of you and you can't take it, though. He was trying to get close enough.
You saw how nervous Jiragi was. He popped that BKB, just like, oh no, like the shards are in. Are they going to try to jump in? Like.
Yeah, better safe than sorry on that. I mean, most likely you're just going to be farming for a little bit right after you take Roche anyway, and then make a move when Aegis has been around for a bit. EG though, they want to try and fight. I think it's because they must have seen that BKB usage there and feel like they have an opening. Oh, there's a Havoc Hammer chilling in the Ancient, by the way, and the Dire Ancients. There's actually a little Havoc Hammer that was missed. It's right under the trees. Very sneaky.
Sheepstick is completed now for Abed, so even more locked in. We saw how useful that Heaven's Halberd was earlier. Now with the Sheepstick, going to make it a bit easier for the side of Evil Geniuses to get these locked down, find these openings, and not allow them to just Timber Chain, hook, or whatever out.
Yeah, for sure. Mid, Yule setup. Just trying to poke the bear a little bit. It's a dangerous thing to do, though.
The rest of the team is nearby. Should they decide to get too aggressive, Shiva's gonna get popped.
This Razor is so tanky now as well. With Halberd, with Trickster Cloak, and with Shivas, as well as his double BKB, of course. He's gonna be so difficult to bring down. And there's no MKB on the side of Terrorblade as well, so even his right clicks will struggle to kill Razor.
The vision game is going over towards the side of Evil Geniuses. They did opt to pick up a Geometry Sight. They've got that on crit. And so EG being able to place a lot of just nice wards and be able to deward anything that OG puts down as they try to climb across this map together slowly.
Just a positional game right now, as OG realize the bottom part of the map can be difficult for them to access anymore, but that means they're just gonna try and go to the undefended territory, go towards top, get farm wherever they can. And Tier 2 tower top is taking a lot of damage right now.
Okay, we've got the MKB completed for Terrorblade. They've handed over the refresher shard to him too. It looks like they're looking to find themselves a skirmish.
Yeah, his job is to kill Razor next fight. He wants to kill Razor, or if any other core, of course, gets close enough, then he'll take it, but he's the only one who can solve the Razor problem. And the MKB allows him to do so quite well.
Evil Geniuses are already shifting their way towards the other side of the map. Nice read. Trying to also, you know, push out this top area as it was pushed in previously.
I just realized that I could swear that he died one time before, but it was just close, I guess. Nightfall still has not died a single time this game. 42 minutes in.
That's extremely impressive. Alright. OG, they've drawn the line. They know where they want to go.
Yeah, they also have the Hex on the Timbersaw already. The Hex and E-Blade on him. He's got some good lockdown. But again, EG are just dodging. They're backing out. Both teams are very careful about how they take the next team fight here. Of course, EG, they want to wait out the Aegis. Don't give a free fight into the Aegis outside the map.
I mean, it's so difficult because of the fact that they do have the gem on the side of Evil Geniuses, so they're able to tear down any vision. So yes, they're going for these smoke plays. They're sending out Misha with the jetpack, trying to get out as much information. But it's just hard for them to get these pickoffs in these finds.
Oh, Clock is going to initiate.
They will be able to find themselves Nightfall, use the Terrorize, hold the place here. They've got the Chalk up, they should be able to just burst him down instantly. So that is his death here. Now can they grab crit in time? Yes, they can. They've got vision over here on the side. Chalk from plus the E-Blade, plus all the damage. He is obliterated as the rest of Evil Geniuses clamber back into their base for safety.
Well, Yuragi had a job. He had to kill the Racer, and he did so very fast.
Did indeed the jump in over onto BZM, though he is going to get blown up. Popping the BKB, the Mortimer kisses, raining Hellfire down.
Beautiful by Arteezy there, fast Abyssal along with the Nullfire as well. Bring down the Void Spirit really fast. He didn't even get a chance to use his cheese or anything, just chains down and dead immediately. Bit unfortunate for him that they used the Tusk buyback. I think they could have probably been fine seeing that Void Spirit died that fast, but who could expect him to just burst that quickly right there?
Aegis does end up getting reclaimed, so OG will back off again. You see the refresher shard placed into Terrorblade's actual inventory, and he's got his eyes on a Reaver as the next step in his plans.
Yeah, he has Satanic coming out. He's got the components. He just needs to buy Satanic or buy the Reaver and then complete it. So he'll have a bit of sustain as well, lifesteal to get back HP, and a nice way to dispel himself as well here. And
I'm curious
this
to see
game
who's
has
gonna strike next.
Yeah, I think that's what I was gonna say too. This game has gone to the point where initiation dictates everything. Whoever gets the better vision and jump on the other team will win that fight, because both of them are so strong. The difference is nothing right now. We have a complete difference of 500 gold. So EG are 500 gold ahead of OG, but that is it. Both teams are well within their strengths to kill the other cores if they see them.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Managed to kill off the courier, and while this is going on, Nightfall has got himself a full refresher orb, so go for a... He picked up something else, I thought. No? I thought the blink. Yeah, the blink. That's what I'm thinking. Sorry, guys. It's like almost 8 a.m. over here. Brain's starting to get a little fuzzy. There it is, though. They're getting into position. Throwing out the remnants, seeing if they can grab anyone. Throwing out the shards. Immediately crit, though. Gets turned into a pig. Gonna try to save him with the cookie. Misha's pretty deep here, but he's still gonna be able to survive. BKB is getting popped multiple sides, but Yuragi on the backside. Arteezy just jumps on him, immediately murders him, and now the chase is going on after Amar. He's not gonna be able to timber chain out of this. Not when he's turned into a little piggy. Taiga will get just hit with the split earth. A very surgical hit coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses. They're still hunting for BZM. Don't think they're gonna be able to quite grab him in time. I don't think they have that vision, or else Abed would have hit him with the Yule, so. Very nicely done.
Not only saves Razor by jumping in on the Terrorblade there, he actually just gets the kill immediately over on the Terrorblade. I did not expect him to die that fast, and I think the same is true for OG. Nobody was dedicated to trying to protect the Terrorblade from dying, but he gets blown up before he can use his Sunder or his Hurricane Pike here. Look at this jump here as the Ursa goes in to save his Razor here at the start of the fight and just gets the kill on him on his own.
Yeah, his positioning there, very patient, waiting for that opportune moment.
Yeah, they're pushing high ground now. There are buybacks available. Nice chase down there as well, as you saw in the replay. Void Spirit trying to buy some time here, going in and just doing damage. Has to be very careful. He has Lincolns to protect him.
And Arteezy's feeling very powerful right now with the lead pretty far back.
One lane is probably all they're gonna get. They're gonna back out on the side of EG, getting themselves a nice advantage there, but not forcing out any form of buyback reaction from OG. So they're still well within the game on OG, but that cannot be allowed to happen for them. They need to protect Terrorblade. He cannot be burst without anyone force staffing or saving him there. Even against Nullifier, force staff will force you a tiny bit. And a nice trick, by the way, is that Nullifier does not stop Hurricane Pike. So Yuragi can still try and Hurricane Pike away by pushing someone else. Then Nullifier does not stop you.
I wonder what the reasoning is behind that.
Why
that particularly works.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
That is just how it is, as they get a draw over onto Crit, but the follow-up here, Arteezy's here. Is chasing after Obser on the back line. Nightfall chasing over here onto Misha, over onto Yuragi. Yuragi going to survive, but Misha looks like he's going to fall. And now the kiting is real over onto this Ursa. Arteezy has to be careful. Doing a decent amount of damage to him as they are kiting, and there's going to be the snowball save coming out. They'll end up losing Taiga. Roll forward over onto one of the illusions. Still protecting Abed, keeping him alive, but BZM seeing an opening. Potentially trying to pop over to Abed. Good cookie save though, was Amar over on the back lines. They do get the kill on Amar. Jumping onto the back, but Arteezy, he's taking too much damage. It's a beautiful terrorize that forces him away, allows the kiting. They'll buy back on Arteezy though. Lots of buybacks during that fight.
Yeah, perhaps a bit premature buyback, but not really, because Roche is going to respawn here, and he knows if he buys back, they can keep contesting this Roche. If he doesn't, it's going to fall to the way of OG, so he's not going to be there in time to get a fight on his back buyback, but he does want to stay in the area. That was actually... Yeah, the Terrorblade's now ready again with new meta. Ready to fight once more. Yeah, here we see the replay. At the start of that fight, there was a nice catch by Clockwork, getting two heroes into the cog, both Razor and Lesh being held in place, allowing the Terrorblade to get a lot of time just right-clicking. So even though he gets caught by doing so himself on Clockwork, that was an important move.
Nightfall?
Oh, the teams are going!
Nightfall is very far forward here, but they just force away. They're going to put out some of that kiting damage like we talked about as he goes for the refresher. Another BKB, but the Scotty damage, oh my gosh, he just pop. Then they're gonna buy back Abed, looking for the opening, Crit finding this opening over onto Misha. Arteezy trying to just get into these fights. Doesn't end up getting kited. Amar, though, is just left behind, so he is going to die. That was a buyback early. This is a very big fight with big potential here, as now BZM trying to run away, trying to get out fast enough. Looks like he might be able to escape with the force staff coming out now from Abed. He was looking for the opening. Not going to be able to quite close the gap. They've lost Amar. They don't have Misha. There is a Roche available.
Yeah, and
looks
immediately
like that's where they're headed.
Terrorblade is sending out. He wants to buy a refresher. He wants to get his meta back so they can actually fight. I don't think that they're going to be able to fight on the Roche pit though, as they have two dead. This is going to be a free Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard, and Aghanim Scepter as well over on the side of EG. So plenty of goodies to take for him here. Arteezy is playing without buyback, so he's going to be the one to take the Aegis right now.
He's got a full Octarine core.
Yeah, he got Octarine core sniped on the Courier before, but I love this build from him. He gets to blink in more often and use the Nullifier and Abyssal, which is really your timing for Ursa. Whenever Blink Abyssal is ready, he's getting a kill.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
No Timber
try
for
to finish off
50.
these racks in the mid.
Dire's middle barracks.
See Arteezy putting pressure on the top. Abed's actually giving a couple clicks over here to these tier 4s. BZM doesn't seem happy about it. And yeah, they make the decision to go for the tier 4s. Realizing they have an opening, E-Blade getting tossed out here. Lotus being placed over onto Arteezy. The fortification's coming out. Still does have that Aegis.
Clock goes
Hook
in.
shot coming in from Misha. Force staff out though. And now over on the side, there's going to be the drain coming out from Nightfall. The punch, the roll going forward over onto Misha. They'll be able to finish him off with the Mortimer Kisses. Need the buyback now from BZM. They're just focusing down these buildings though, Waga. They've got their eyes on the prize. We'll have this Timbersaw up in a moment, but now Yuragi, he's just standing into play. He can't move, he can't do anything. They're just putting down the damage and the terrorize. It's enough. The Sunder play comes out. TZ turning his attention now over to BZM. He's gonna be able to try to jump. They want Yuragi. They want this kill. The cookie hop forward. They'll be able to keep him alive a little bit longer, but now there it is. The punch. They'll finish him off, and now they'll chase after Amar. The damage is real coming out from Evil Geniuses. The Aegis does get popped, but it's already done. The GG gets called.
What an absolutely wild game one there. EG finally takes down OG in this game. That was a hard battle all the way. Two very evenly matched teams. Some smiles over on the faces here as EG, they do take a hard-fought game. Arteezy gets to play on one of his signature heroes, the Ursa, as well. He had some massive impact towards the later stages there. Those pickoffs, the one solo kill he got on Terrorblade completely caught me off guard that he would actually be able to kill him there. I saw him jump